Hey crew, it's Pitt, and I'm back with a tarot reading for our ENFJ alternates for the week of July the 27th through August the 2nd. We will be pulling 8 cards from our feminine, 8 cards from the masculine, so that we can get a better understanding of just how to pull into our highest timeline. I've already done a pre-meditation and a pre-shuffle on the cards, and this is just going to be to make sure that everything is exactly where it needs to be so that we can get our highest timeline. I understand that I have some different interpretations on the cards, and I may have a tendency to step on toes when I relay those. It is not intentional, but it is not something that I apologize for. As well, if you are unaware of what an ENFJ alternate is, if you have been typed and this is the first time you've seen my smiling face, or if you do not know what the terms ideas, old, tribe, flexible, or direct mean, then you should fall back to the video that is linked in the corner. Have you been doing MBTI wrong? Because almost certainly you have. With that being said, let us dive in and see what our message from Spirit is going to be today. Beginning with the base, we have the Nine of Wands in reverse. In the sacral, we have the Queen of Wands in reverse. In the solar plexus, we have the High Priestess in reverse. In the heart, we have the King of Wands. In the throat, we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. In the third eye, we have the Ten of Cups. And in the crown, we have the Hanged Man. And rounding out our message from the Divine Feminine, here on the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Cups. Next up, we will be pulling 8 cards from our masculine deck so that we can see what actions that we need to take in order to fully realize our highest timeline in accordance with Spirit. The feminine tells us what the current situation is. The masculine tells us what steps we can take in order to fully realize what we want in our lives. And so with this next shuffle real quick, we will go and see what Spirit has to tell us. Beginning in the crown, we have the King of Swords in reverse. In the third eye, the Eight of Swords in reverse. In the throat, we have the Hanged Man. In the heart, we have the Empress. In the solar plexus, we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. In the sacral, we have the Tower in reverse. And in the base, we have the Hierophant. And rounding out our message with the Divine Masculine on the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Cups. So, let's dive in and see what the reading is telling us. We begin in the base. This is base existence. This is having a job, having a home, having provision. The basics that you need for life. This is the area that governs love and wrath. You may be giving away a little bit of too much affection to people, or you may not have that affection returned. For you in particular, this is going to be governed by your SI, which is what has happened in organization. So you may just be misunderstanding what has happened in the past or the organization thereof. For you, we have the Nine of Wands. 9 means that there is a choice. When it is standing tall, there is a choice that you need to make. Wands is Spirit, Fire, Life, Light, Logos. It is change. It is all the instances of change. He is standing there. He has a choice to make about this new path. He has already harvested all of his enemy's staves. He has fought awfully hard. He is standing tall, however. He is victorious. He has completed the harvest of the change. He has realized that there is a new investment to be made. Now he needs to make a choice about that investment. But you don't. You need to just hold off for a little bit. There is change happening. It's happening like it's supposed to. You are on the higher path for change, but you're not needing to be making a decision about it. The decision has already been made. It is already in progress. You don't need to be making it. This is what is currently happening, right? Or you won't make the change. You are choosing not to make the change. You are making the decision that this change does not need to be in your life. This is your current situation. What steps can we take? What is the masculine telling us? We've got the Hierophant. Now the Hierophant is a 5. That means that there is a challenge. This is on the first path, so it is basic life. There is a challenge here. It is something about understanding or teaching. The Hierophant is the teacher. He is sitting in the robe of authority, on the throne of authority, crowned with authority, between the two pillars of Boaz and Yakin, where he is in balance. He is teaching to people the correct procedures. Now, this can be religious related. It's not necessarily religious related, but this card used to be called the Pope. This is somebody instructing other people in the correct path, right? You need to be doing this, right? You are not making the choice about the change. The change is already happening. It is a positive one. You are not necessarily supposed to take any action in that. There is something about it that you need to be learning about or teaching other people, rising to meet this challenge. The challenge of the change is going to happen. It's supposed to happen. You are meant to meet it. Rise up, meet the challenge. That's going to bring us into our sacral. The sacral is sexual generation. It is lust and chastity. You may be giving a little bit too much physical affection. You may not be getting the physical affection that you're looking for. For you in particular, this is going to be governed by other people's thoughts. This whole area is governed by what other people think about me or about the situation. It is taking authorities at their words. This is the area of lust and chastity, so again, you got to balance that. But it is also the area where you create what you want in your life, right? With the third eye, you envision your future. This is the things I want to bring into my life. In the sacral, you are doing it. This is the actual act of physical generation. This is impregnating the world with your idea. For you, we have the Queen of Wands. Now, the Queen of Wands, when she is standing tall, is about embracing the change and gestating it, right? She has overcome the challenge. She is nurturing it right before she reaches the final harvest. This is Wands, so it is change, life, light, spirit, fire, and logos, all represented right here. And so there is a change happening, right? You have overcome it, or you're about to overcome it. This is the current situation. You are about to be nurturing, or you are resisting nurturing, whatever this change is. There is a change you don't have to make a decision about. It is going to be something where you're going to be teaching someone, or they're going to be teaching you, probably you teaching them, judging by these cards. The Queen is about overcoming the challenge, and you have not quite yet overcome the challenge, is how I see this. The change is happening, and that is reiterated by the Tower in reverse. The Tower, when it's standing upright, is sudden change coming into your life that you don't really have a whole lot of control about, right? That's what the Tower signifies. There's a lightning bolt hitting the Tower, and it has cast these two people out to their doom. They are on the way to the ground, right? This is sudden change coming in. This is change coming in. This is change already here. There is something changing in your situation. It's got to do with your home life, your work life, your basic provision. And it is in reverse, which means that it is happening, but it's, again, not something you can actively take part in. If it was standing tall, then there is a change that maybe you can take some part in, especially since it's in the area of generation and the steps that you take to make what you want come into fruition. But it's in reverse. That means resistance or don't do, right? There is change. You don't need to nurture it quite yet, or it is being nurtured and is not quite ready for the overcoming stage. There is change. This is a 16 card, and 16 is going to be choosing, right? So do not choose. The resistance to the choice. Don't make the choice. Don't make the choice about the change. That is a reiteration of don't make a choice, right? Let the change happen naturally. Let it happen in the way that it is unfolding, and then you can nurture it. Next up, we're going to be looking at the solar plexus. The solar plexus is what changes your food into fuel. It is what drives things. Here is your base existence. This is what brings you there. This is what you want to make in your life happen. This is how you get there. This is the fuel that makes things happen. This is about temperance and gluttony, so you may be over-consuming any of the substances, food, alcohol, or whatever else. You may be overtaking, or you may be swearing them off and you don't need to. This is, for you in particular, going to be guided by your NE, which is seeing all of the possibilities, what can happen in the future. Now, you got the 2, once again in the reverse. Once again, do not make a choice. This is the 2 of the major arcana, right? This is the big boys. This is the first path. 1 through 7 is the first path. 8 through 14 is the second path. This is the first path. Don't make a choice about. This is the first path, right? The base existence. Now this is change, but it is represented in the base path. So here we have 3 times. Do not make a choice here. Let this situation play out in the manner in which it was supposed to play out. It's not going to be a negative situation from what I'm reading. We're going to get to it. This appears to be a good change, but you're not supposed to be taking part in it. You are not meant to be making a decision in this. Whatever it is, right? Whatever it is, it can be your job's restructuring. You're facing a new job. Somebody gives you a job offer. You're not supposed to be taking it, right? This is just let it play out like it's supposed to. And that is, again, reiterated by our 4 of Pentacles in reverse. Now, a 4 card is an understanding card. Pentacles is the base existence. Once again, you have not quite understood something. You need to understand something, but you're not getting it and you're resisting it. You may be wanting to make this choice, but you don't need to, right? You are like, I really want to make a decision about this, but you don't need to. The decision has already been made. It is going to play out exactly like it needs to be. You don't need to. This is nurturing in a way, right? He has the crown of the pentacle on top of his crown. He is nurturing a pentacle here, and he has 2 at his feet. This is understanding the path that you were on. I was an apprentice, now I'm a journeyman, right? I know what I'm doing. I'm not a master yet, but I'm on the way. That's what this is. But not you, right? Resisting, not enacting, not feeding, not doing. You need to not involve yourself in whatever this base level choice is. It is going to play out the way that it needs to play out, regardless. You don't need to be involved in it. That's going to bring us into the heart. Now, the heart is what you want to manifest in your life. It is what is going to make you happiest out of all the things. It ties together the as below and the as above. It is the area that governs greed and charity. You are meant to be charitable, but not to the point where you have nothing. You are meant to have possessions. You're not meant to have all of the possessions. For you in particular, this area is going to be governed by your FI, which is past feelings and morals. So what has happened to you and how it made you feel in the past is really going to be your driver in wanting to manifest things. Now for you, you're sitting on the change, right? This is the mastery of the change. This is change. This is change. This is change. This is don't make a decision. This is don't make a decision. This is don't make a decision. This is saying that you are already manifesting the change in the exact manner in which it is supposed to happen. The king is the mastery of the path. This is the culmination of the cards. This is almost an equivalent to the world. This is the mastery of the 4th path, the mastery of the change, the mastery of the Magi. This is the literal manifestation, right? This is the manifestation card in the manifestation spot. You are bringing into your life what you want right now. If you don't take the steps, you have something left to learn, right? There is still some understanding, right, that needs to unfold. Now, that is not you making an active effect for that understanding. That is you allowing that understanding to unfold on its own. The Empress is perfectly comfortable sitting where she is. She has all of her provision coming to her. She's just understanding the world around her. That's her position. That is what she's doing. She has fully embraced the fact that I can be a Magi. Let me step out into that path and learn about it. This is learning about it. This is sitting and letting it come to you. This is sitting and letting it come to you. This is don't make a choice about the change. This is the mastery of the change. Whatever is happening on this earthly plane, you are not meant to be making a decision about. It's going to happen. It's going to happen exactly like it's supposed to. It looks to be a positive change. It's just you're not going to be in control of it, and that may be a little bit distressing for you. Don't let it be. Next up, we're going to be looking at the throat. The throat is communication. It is also the area that is dealing with pride and humility. You may be taking too much pride in your work. You may be giving away too much credit for what you are doing. You're supposed to take pride in your work, just not too much of it. For you, this is going to be governed by your SE, which is current things and exploration. And so there may be new experiences that you need to bring in. There may be or to communicate about, right? And you're going to have a tendency here to miscommunicate about the things. For you, this is going to be the Ace of Pentacles. Now, the Ace of Pentacles, when it is standing tall, is there is a new earthly path that you need to make a choice about, right? You're not making the choice. You're just realizing that there is a choice. You're realizing, hey, there's a path over there. Should I be walking that? That's what this is. This is the beginning of the earthly path. Now, you're in a good spot with your stuff. It is going well, maybe not perfect, but well, and change is coming in. The Ace of Pentacles is that change, right? That is the current situation that you don't need to take a part in, right? There is a new communication, right? This is the area of communication, not the communication card. The Ace of Swords would be a new communication in that way. But this is, in the upright here, there is a new conversation about your earthly path that you need to have. Hold your tongue. Don't do it. Don't talk about it. Despite the fact that you want to make this decision, you're not supposed to. Despite the fact that this change is happening, you're not meant to be actively involved in it. It is happening to you, and that can be distressing, but it is meant to happen. It is meant to change. It is meant to. And you are not meant to be in the middle of it, right? We keep getting that. All of these negative cards, these reverse cards, they're just telling you to wait your time. They're not necessarily a bad outcome. And for the steps that you can take, clarifying this, do not communicate, there's a new perspective that needs to be had. Now, you have a tendency not to over talk, right? You are direct, and so you have a tendency to not fully explain things, to not give all of the details. This is a new perspective. Maybe you need to consider some of them details, even if you're not necessarily communicating them. You need to think about them. You need to understand where other people are coming from, what communication is coming into you. You need to understand it from their perspective. Right? The Hanged Man is there willingly. He put himself on this pole so that he could see things from a different way. He is provided for. He is safe. He is crowned with all of his glory. He is getting a new perspective. That's what you're meant to do. Now, this is a 7 card, or no, it's not. It's a 12 card. A 12 is a challenge, right? There is a challenge that you need to rise to meet. It is the equivalent of a knight. This is the second path, so it is going to be on the interpersonal relationships. That leads into the communications. This is not necessarily you communicating. This is a new communication coming into you that you are not initiating, but you need to see it from their side, right? That's going to allow you to allow this change to happen by understanding what someone else is telling you, right? You are not having the conversation. It's a new conversation that you are not initiating. You need to have a perspective of maybe it's correct. That doesn't mean it is correct, but maybe it can be. Next up, we have the third eye. The third eye is where you envision your future, right? You're putting it into action in your sacral. You're envisioning it in your third eye. This is what you want to bring into your life. This is governed by sloth and diligence. Are you working towards your goals? Are you just sitting around playing Minecraft all day? What is your actions? This is for you. This is going to be governed by TI. This is, what do I think about the situation? What is my logic in the situation? What is my thoughts on it? Right? That is what you do. And you have a tendency to get a little bit defensive over that, right? If somebody disagrees with your interpretation, you're going to get a little bit mad, right? You may not show it outwardly, but you're going to be a little bit perturbed. How dare you question my thoughts, right? That's going to be the tendency in this spot for you because it's your miscommunication spot. Now, what we have is the 10 of Cups. Cups is body, spirit, right? It is emotional connections. It is interpersonal relationships. It can be a spousal connection, a partnership. It can be a business partnership, or it can be the people that you are just associated with, your friends and your coworkers. But it's the emotional level of things. The body is the physical. The pentacles are the physical, the body. This is the mind, but not in your thoughts, but your personal relationships. And this is provision, right? 10 is a new path, right? You are learning the new path, but this is the new path of provision. You are on the secondary step, the next part of the path. You've completed the base level, and now you're moving on to the advanced level. You have the provision from the first path. You are reinvesting it into generational emotional security. You're reinvesting it into everybody in my family being emotionally stable. That's what this is. It's not necessarily earthly provision. It is provision for generations in a emotional level. You can see, right, the generational provision is these two kids down here playing and the two spouses here celebrating these cups above their head in a rainbow. And that is generational provision of an emotional level. Now, as far as the steps that you can take, we've got the Eight of Swords in reverse. Swords is about soul, air, thought, ideas, and communication. And so this can be someone communicating to you or you communicating to someone else. It can be your ideas. It can be someone else's ideas. But it is in the realm of thought, the realm of ideas, and the realm of communication. The 8 is, there's a new path. What do I do now? You've got a new path, right? You're not supposed to be making a decision about. You've got a new path that you're not supposed to be making a decision about, right? You see the path or you don't because it's in reverse. This is not willfully stepping out into the path. This is letting it happen. She is bound by herself. She has her hands tied behind her back. She has a blindfold over her eyes, but there's no one there guarding her. She's got all these swords behind her, but they're in the past. They're behind her. She is bound by her own beliefs. She doesn't know that she is free. She doesn't know that the enemies have been defeated. That's what this card signifies. But not for you, right? This is a resistance to a do not act upon or a this is not, right? This is saying there is a new path. You're not supposed to step out on it quite yet. The new path is unfolding for you. It is going to lead to the mastery of change, but you have to let it unfold on its own. You cannot be taking the steps to go out on the new path. Now, this isn't making a choice about the new path. This is a realization that there is a path, but this can be you're just about to realize that there's a new path. You need to take the steps to realize that there's a new path. Or don't walk the new path that is unfolding. But this is a resistance to that. This is the new path in the realm of ideas that you don't necessarily need to accept. Now, you've got a communication coming that you need to see from a different perspective. That's going to bring us into the crown. Now, the crown is where you interpret what you think the divine is telling you. The divine has a message for you. You filter that through your crown. This is the area of hope and despair, whether you are hopeful even though there is no real reason to, or whether you're despondent even though there is every reason not to be. That is where this area is going to be governed by. And for you, this in particular, this is going to be the best possibility and what guidance do I need for the best to happen in my life. You have the Hanged Man once again, right? This is a new perspective, a fresh perspective, but this is a current situation. You are currently interpreting from a fresh perspective. This can be this in action, right? Now, this new idea is currently being presented about the work path, and you need to see it from this perspective. This is reiterating that new perspective needs to be, right? You are in the energy of let's bring in this new perspective. And the actions that you can take in order to fully realize that is going to be the King of Swords in reverse. Now, the King of Swords, when he is standing up, is the mastery of the idea. When he is like this, there's not quite there, right? There is some resistance to the idea that is unfolding here, right? You have the resistance to change, resistance to change, resistance to change. Don't enact the change. You have resistance to idea, resistance to idea. The King is the culmination, the final part of the whole series. It is the culmination of the suit when he is standing up here. You're not quite there, so do not finish the project. Do not take the steps forward towards the finish. You're almost there. It's going to happen on its own. Don't force it. That's going to bring us to our message from the divine. Now, the divine doesn't really have any of the attributes assigned to it, but for you, it is guided by your FE, which is future feelings and the ethics of the situation. Is this a ethical choice that I am making? That's going to be a big deciding factor for you. You are going to do that. That is your area of responsibility. You are going to align yourself with your ethics regardless, right? And the ethics are based upon what the tribe believes, not necessarily what you believe. You have the Knight of Cups. Again, Cups is about the emotional interpersonal relationships. Knights are about rising to meet the challenge. You are not to rise to meet the challenge. Once again, dealing with the interpersonal relationships. Once again, something else, like somebody else is in charge of this change. It is not you. Whatever this is, right? We have the resist, the don't enact the change, don't enact the change, don't enact the change, don't enact the change. Like, there is something here very much telling you not to enact change, to just let it play out in the way that it needs to. Now, when he is standing tall, he is going forward, right? The horse's leg is moving, but he's not running, he's not charging, he's not leaping, he's not jumping. He's walking slowly and contemplating the cup. The cup is the emotional relationships. He is rising to meet the challenge, but he is not doing so in an aggressive manner. He is going where he needs to be, but he is not doing so in a hurry. You have this in the reverse, which means that you don't need to rise to meet the challenge. Maybe you do need to be in a hurry. That's a little bit lesser of an interpretation for it, but not rising to meet the challenge definitely fits with the entire rest of this read. And finally, rounding out our message from the Divine Masculine, we've got the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is the higher path of the emotional connections. That is what action is going to be coming out of this, right? If you resist this change, if you're not rising to meet the challenge, you're just letting it happen, then this new path is going to open up to you all by itself. And it's going to be a path that leads to emotional fulfillment. That's what the 8 is, right? You're done with all the worldly things that don't really lead you anywhere. The 7 of Cups is all about the earthly temptations. The 8, you have overcome those earthly temptations, and now you are walking out in full maturity. But you're not done, right? You still have things to learn. There's still growth to happen, but now you're doing it on the higher path. Now you're doing it with divine in mind. You're walking in accordance with spirit. You're allowing these things to happen in the way that they need to happen. You're releasing that control, and that's going to lead you into this, right? This is the path that leads to emotional fulfillment. This is where you're going to realize your 10 of Cups. And so these 2 cards right here are telling us, do not engage. Do not take the steps to engage in this challenge. Do not rise to meet the challenge. You will get emotional fulfillment if you just let it happen. The new path is going to arise, open up to you if you do not rise to meet this challenge. And I know that seems a little counterintuitive. We want to meet the challenge. We want to rise to fulfill our full destiny. But sometimes that means that you have to submit. That's going to conclude the message. Hopefully I brought a little bit of enlightenment and not too much confusion. If you like what I'm doing over here, let me know down below. Give me a like, a share, a follow. Throw me a comment if you agree or disagree with anything that was said. Put it in the box down below, and if it remains respectful, it gets to remain up. If you are a reader and you have a different interpretation, you are more than welcome to drop that in the box as well. All are welcome as long as it's respectful. If you really like what I'm doing over here, hit me with that super thanks. Consider joining for a membership or picking up a copy of my book where I teach you to do magic responsibly. To the crew, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate every single minute that you are here with me, and I am praying for you every single day. Until next time, I love you. God loves you. You are perfect, whole, and complete just the way that you are. And this has been Pitt State. Peace.